How's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week number 27 of our trading journey in the year 2024. I know it's been a while since I released content. My last content was in week 24. The two topics that I wanted to discuss today, our first topic is our status on our funding firms. So I am pivoting and I am taking a break from the funding firms, and I just want to go through what happened there and what I'm up to next, which is the topic number two. Topic number two is I am exclusively just trading a self-funded live account. So I want to go through how my performance were the past 3 weeks since I last posted a content. But before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. So our topic number one is just to go through the funding firm journey that I had. I call it a funding firm. Most folks refer to it as a prop firm, but to me, it really is just a firm that helps you with your funding. And I just want to go through what happened this past couple of months. It is a journey that I started in August 2023, but it wasn't until April 16th, 2024 that I was able to finally pass 20 accounts. And with these 20 accounts that I was able to pass, I finally hit my goal of reaching 20 performance accounts, which was always something that I wanted to do. And it took a long time to get there. And I can pretty much, and we can see that from this next page here. On here, this is the post that I made showing all of the past accounts, all 20 of them, and that was in April. And then finally, the next post I wanted to show was on April 30th. So on April 30th was my first big red day on those 20 performance account. You can see here it was about roughly almost $1,000 that I lost from each account. So that really took the wind out of my sail, and it brought the account down to 24,607. So previous to that, it was pretty much at 25,600. Which is, not quite where it needed to be, but it was fairly close to the payout period. So that was April 30th. And then what happened next was this next post, which was on May 30th. So this is about a month later. So I persevered, right? I did my best to recover most of the account. We got it back up to about 25,600. So that was a great day. So that was May 30th. So the next day, again, this was the post where, close to $400 in that May 30th. On May 31st, unfortunately, on day 29 of those performance accounts, I did blow up all of those 20 PAs, which took a lot of wind out of my sail. And what's frustrating about it is I kept failing because of one mistake, and that is not accepting my max risk. And that's just something that I really needed to fix, right? So after that, I told myself I would take a break from funding firms. However, since there was a 90% off sale, I decided to just sign up again for 20 more accounts. And at that point, I decided to pretty much use the static accounts because the dynamic drawdown was affecting me so badly and the way I traded that I figured the static account is how I normally trade my live accounts, right? And with this, I was able to start that. But in the back of my head, I knew that it would be expensive to pretty much pay the activation fees for these. So even though I was trying to pass it, I knew that I would not be able to afford the activation fees, and I was going to do it in piecemeals, maybe do it 5 accounts at a time. So this was around June 10th when the $100,000 account was already roughly at 100,600. So I needed $1,400 more to be able to pass those 20 evaluation accounts. And at that point, I've already reached 500 evals, right? So not something to be proud of, but that's just what happened, right? That's where I'm at. So what happened next from June 10th, the next post that I want to show was on June 18th. So on June 18th here, you can see that the accounts just needed roughly $400 or so to get to the passing. So we were almost there, and that was June 18th. And then, of course, what happened after, the consistency I have of good 3-4 weeks of no issues, I succumbed to the usual issues that I have. And this was what happened on June 20th. I lost all of those evaluation accounts, and by doing that, I also lost one of my funded accounts with Trade Day, and it also took a bit of a huge hit on my live account, and my live account was down all the way to $805.90. So at that point, I told myself, all right, this is not working anymore. I need to take a break and pivot away from funding firms. I mean, the root cause, I figured that out, right? It's just my stubbornness to accept a max risk. And at the same time, I just had a tough time really just sticking to the rules. It just limited me from what I needed to do. So at that point, I decided, all right, let's just focus on our live account. And that's the next topic that I'd like to talk about. So our second topic is our progress on the live account. This is a self-funded live account that I finally decided I should put my focus on. My first 3.5 years or so of trading futures, I was actually trading my own money. That was with Thinkorswim, so the margin there for 1 YM, you needed almost $10,000. And my account got to about $50,000, so I was trading about 4 YM. Our ending cash is $48,266.46. However, as I mentioned, we did withdraw $500 and also withdrew another $1,500. So our ending cash was actually $50,266.46. And we will subtract our ending cash for the week, which was $46,487.26. And for the week, happy for 4 straight weeks now, we have been profitable. And for this week, our net profit is $3,779.20. So that definitely is more than what my weekly paycheck used to be. So I'm quite happy with that. But since I lost my job, I needed that trading money to pretty much pay the bills. So I had to find an alternative. And that's the reason why I switched to a funding firm. However, looking back at it now, I should have just gone straight to NinjaTrader, where with NinjaTrader, to trade 1 YM for the day, you just need a margin of $500, as opposed to the close to the $10,000 that I needed for Thinkorswim. However, with NinjaTrader, even though the day margin is $500 for 1 YM, if you had to hold overnight, which means at the end of the US hours, that means that you need to have a margin, or really the cash in the account, of at least $10,000 for 1 YM. So it'd be the same to how it was with Thinkorswim. So what I'm showing here is NinjaTrader live account. You can see that our balance is at $3,875.18. I'm not yet at break even for the year. I have deposited $4,000 on the account. So we're getting close to that break even part. And just to show you the proof on that, we will scroll down to the chart. And this is the chart here of me trading my self-funded live account. You can see here, sometime in December of 2023, I did fund my account up to $1,000. However, I had issues with my account and they didn't want me to trade because of my YouTube. So compliance had an issue with it. It was a long battle trying to show to them that, the YouTube that I have is not against the rules and whatnot. So it took a long time, and it wasn't until closer to May or so, around here, that they finally approved it, and that's when I funded the account. So this was around the time I had those performance accounts also with the funding firm. Now looking at the chart here, you can see that there's 2 drawdowns. This one drawdown right here, and the second one right here. So this first drawdown, this is actually when I lost my 20 performance account. And the second drawdown here was when I lost my 20 evaluation account, which is my last attempt on trying to make the funding firm work. So As you can see here, I was using the trade Copier. At one point I was leading with a live account, and then at one point I was not, but now I just want to focus on the actual live account itself. So like what I mentioned, we're not yet at a break even. We're gonna get there eventually, and this is what I'm gonna focus on right now. Sometime in the year, I would like to again probably purchase a couple more of evaluation accounts from the funding firm, but I'm only gonna do that if both the evaluation cost and the activation cost is less than $100. Anything more than that, I don't think it's worth it for the way I trade, because I only trade one, maximum 2 contracts at a time. You can justify funding firm if you're able to handle those 10 E-minis or more, but as someone that has been trading my own money, I know that trading 10 contracts is a little crazy, unless of course you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to fully handle that. All right, next we're going to go to our statement just to run through the history that we've had since my last update. So my last update was on June 15th, 2024. So we'll go to account balance history here. We'll do a custom range, and the date we're going to pick was the last date that I did an update, and that was on June 15th, Saturday. And today is Saturday, July 6th, so that's what we'll run there. And we'll run this report, and we will scroll down a bit so we can see all of that. So now we can see the past 3 weeks, right? So instead of bringing the calculator up like I normally do just to go through our performance the past 3 weeks, it's a lot easier when I do it every week, but since I haven't done it in a while, I'll just switch to my Excel sheet where I keep track of my progress. So on the left here, we'll see our account balances, and on the right, this was the Excel sheet that I've shown in the past, and I just want to show you the values so we're all aligned here. So the last update I did, the account was at $2,858.50, and where that shows on the sheet here was right here. So the $2,858.50 was the ending on week number 24. And then, as I mentioned, when I lost the accounts here, when I lost the 20 evaluation accounts where I did lose over $2,000 on the self-funded account, I deposited $2,000 more in the account. So you can see it going from $400 to $2,400.70. So if you look to the right here, you can see that this is where we were at $400, and then I deposited $2,000 to the account, and that's where you can see this red value where I deposited that $2,000 account. And then you can see here in the end, we have ending cash of $3,875.18. And to the right, you can see what our ending cash there of $3,875.18. So now focusing on the right side here, these are pretty much how I keep track on my progress. So on the right here, this is the year to date. So I sum up how I'm doing, and this is a running total. So like what I mentioned, we're almost at break even. So for the past 3 weeks, if you looked at my performance, it's not quite enough to recover it yet, but the sum of those three, let's just put the mouse on those three, the sum of these three values here, looking down, the sum is negative $983.32. So that's our performance for the past 3 weeks. But I think the part that I want to focus on and I want to highlight is the fact that even though I lost such a significant amount on my total portfolio, I was able to recover myself back to where hopefully in the future we can start withdrawing constantly from this account without having to rely on the rules of a funding firm. So the freedom of that is pretty great. Again, this is tough when you don't have the capital. I myself really don't have a capital. The fact that I haven't had a job since March of 2023 and doing my best. This is how I'm trying to do that until I find a job. But at the same time, if I can make this successful, then I don't need to go back. But rest assured, every week I am trying my very best, interviewing and applying to jobs. Anyway, that's my content for the week. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support that you've given this channel, because the little bit of income that I do get from this is actual income that I do need. All right, I'll have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.